All right, Wolf PDB. We've also got the TBS Crossfire Nano. I'm going to run it with the Immortal T Extended, KISS V2 flight controller, KISS 32-bit ESCs. There's going to be, there's 4 in here. We're going to run this on the build. I've got the Foxeer Falcor, the Mini, and then we're running the T-Motor MCKs. These are 1800 kV. These are phenomenal motors. I'm excited to run these. Oh, by the way, welcome pilots, DrainMan here. Today we are going to be doing the build. This will be a 2-part or 3-part. I'm not sure. We're not going to stretch out the video too long, so we'll probably cut it in half or cut it in 3, whatever we got. I love these motors. These motors are just beautiful. They come in a cool case too. Gotta love it. Stickers, extra screws, everything. All right, so anyways, guys, we got the reverb build. It's going to be a phenomenal freestyle build. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Right now, we're just getting everything opened and ready. I'm going to be running the Foxeer Lollipop. I think it'll work great with the Foxeer camera. Might as well put them together so they can work together. I hope that you guys enjoy this build, and if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. All right, awesome. Let's keep this rolling. Hopefully, I will be keeping a good pace for the experienced pilots and also for the newer guys. I don't want to lose the newer guys. If you guys have any questions and don't know what's going on, feel free to let me know so I can help you with it. The TBS Unify Pro that I'm going to be using for my video transmitter, is a special edition. That's why you saw this pigtail I just had. That is the MMCX adapting pigtail. These are the Rotor Riot skids. That way when I come into land, I don't chew up my screws. And then these right here, these are the 3D printed bumper guards. They're great. Plus they soft mount your motors. We'll go over that a little bit more. Okay, let's get started on this motor. I'm going to get all my screws out. I've got my bumper guards on. I'm going to put my prop nut on so I don't lose it. We're going to mount the motor, put the skid on the bottom, and put our screws in. I also use Loctite on my motor screws so that way they don't loosen up on me over time. Also, one thing I wanted to tell you guys is I'm going to go ahead and put links for everything I'm using in this build. I will put it down, or it is down. Go ahead. You can go down there right now and take a look. I have all the links down there. None of them are affiliate links, so don't worry about that. But that way, if you want to use exactly what I'm using, you can, and go ahead and just pick your own colors or whatever you want to do. But everything will be down in there for you. The other goal for this video is running quadcopters. Everything is in 4. So we got 4 motors, 4 ESCs, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do 1 for you on camera, and then I'm going to do the other 3 off camera, so you won't have to watch this redundant, repetitive thing where I'm just doing the next one and next one and next one. You know, I'll show you one, you'll know how to do it, and then you guys can pause and do the other 3 on your own, or if you're just watching for entertainment, go ahead and enjoy, but you won't have to watch the same thing 4 freaking times. Yep, also this is going to be a KISS build. It is the reverb, so it is very compatible with the Wolf PDB, which means you can run any electronics you want, but the Wolf PDB just makes sense. Me personally, I'm a KISS pilot. Yes, I do build Betaflight and fly Betaflight. Yes, I do build and fly Flight 1. I also have had my fair share of fun with Butterflight. Helio, but this build here is going to be KISS, Flyduino. I love their products. They've been around since I think like 2011, and they're doing their thing. I really do enjoy Flyduino. All right, this motor is on and looking good. All right, guys, we are now back, and we have our motors on. We got all 4. We've got our quad skids locked on and ready. We've got our motor mounts. These are fantastic. I truly do love these. Not only do I get to protect my carbon fiber from crashes, you know, because we all crash and hit the motors. Hit the arms. I'm also giving a little extra protection from hitting the motor, like I just said, by accident. And to top it off, when my motor is spinning at X amount of RPMs, all those micro vibrations that are coming through are getting dampened, which is soft mounting basically by this. So no, it's not the same as a rubber soft mount, but it does make a big difference, and it's freaking stylish, man. It looks cool. This protects when I come in for a slide on any top mount battery. Whenever you're mounting the battery up top, you got nothing but screws exposed. So when you come in for a landing, no matter how soft, you know, they start to add up. So I truly do like putting both of these on every build. Now if I got a racer, that's different, but for my freestyle builds, this is what I do. We are going to get into racing builds later on, but right now we're going to focus on this one. Alright guys, so next up we are going to move this out of the way. Alright, we're going to move these out of the way, and what we're going to do is we are going to get our Wolf PDB on here. So that is going to go on just like that. I mean, if that doesn't fit like a glove, I don't know what does. Look at that. We did pre-solder this just to set our OSD up, but I might go ahead and just leave it on because I think I like where it's at. We'll figure that out as the build goes on. So first thing you guys want to do is, we got some sticky tape that came in. We talked about it being thin and super awesome. So go ahead and take that, snip this, 1 and 2. Now you're welcome to do this any way you'd like. This is how I like to do it. Go ahead and peel this. And I'm going to stick that there, and then I will peel this one. Eventually I will peel it. Alright, now I'm gonna cut this. Okay, let's go ahead and get up in here. Alright, let's go ahead and get up in here. Alright, as you can see, we have it there. The very next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and stick this bad bizzle on. Huh? Look at that. There she is. Alright guys, I mean that's pretty good. It pretty much stuck right to it. Held her down pretty good. I mean, I'm picking up all the weight, so we're going to call that good. So now that that's mounted, we're going to go ahead and go on to the next step. Alright, next up on the list, we're going to go ahead and prep our ESCs a little bit. There's quite a bit of work with that. So go ahead and get your ESC out, whatever your ESC may be. Mine is a KISS 32-bit. This is the KISS 32-bit. There's a lot of 32s in there because it's 32. So let's go ahead and tin it. I don't have a fancy holder. I just do the balancing act every time. I just balance it the best I can. Oh, there we go. And then we're going to tin that. So now it is tinned and ready for wires. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pre-wire this with you guys, show you guys how I get it ready, and then after that I'm going to get the other 3 ready off camera, and you guys can just go ahead and pause the video and get your other 3 ready, and then we'll reconvene together back here. Alright, so that's that. Next, we'll get the other wires ready. Alright, so I've got a basic measurement. I went ahead and just threw my ESC on the arm, and I got an idea of what I'm looking for, and then I'm going to cut them. So basically, you know, I'll still have extra wire, and I'll cut the extra off, but at least I know I have enough. But I won't have way too much, because that's completely unnecessary. My motor wires do have a little bit too much, you know, my main negative and positive, but that's just because that's the way the leads came, so, or the wires came, so that'll work for me. I'm not going to spend time to trim them if they're already good to go. Alright, so we went ahead and strip the wire. Now we're going to go ahead and tin them. This is easier with a holder of some sort, so if you have a helping hand or something, go ahead and utilize it. Me, I've been doing it this way for long enough that it doesn't really matter to me. So alright, here we go. Let's get in here and go ahead and get these ready. Alright, so that looks pretty good. We're going to roll with that. Now, let's go on to the next step. Alright, so I do keep a little toothbrush around just for stuff like this. You see these little beads of solder, they can be dangerous, so just make sure that you're not leaving any balls, because it can cause a short, it can cause things to mess up, and we don't want that. We got a little flux on there, huh? Clean that up. Gotta love these mats. Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and do the next step. And to do that, first thing you're gonna want to do is add a little extra solder to each lead. Just like that. Nothing crazy, just add a little ball. There it is. I like it. Don't melt it in. You want to stack it on top just a little bit. Kind of do your thing. And then take your capacitor. Low ESR, please. Spread them out. Get an idea of what you're looking for. Me, I'm trying to go something like that. That looks good. And get my cutters. I'm going to snippy. Snippy. Grab my tweezers, pull these out of the way. Alright. Toss those, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get the iron out. I want you guys to pay attention and watch this. So then what we're going to do is we're going to bleed. We're going to bleed this on to those blobs we just put on top. There we go. Just like that. That's beautiful. I don't want to mess with them too much, but ultimately I'm going to push this down. I'm going to wrap it, make sure nothing can touch, but I still have connections to do on this end, you know what I mean? So for right now I'm going to roll like that. We'll leave it like that. I'm sure there's 1,000,010 ways to do this. The last build I did them on the bottom. I went ahead and I put the negative here and the positive here, and I had it on the bottom, but I felt like it was pushing my wires up, and I want to try something different on this one, so we're going to do it this way, and hopefully it works for me and works for you. Alright guys, so we're back. Here's what we got. We got our 4 ESCs ready. We've got our positive wired, we've got our signal wired, telemetry wired, ground wired, both on the pad and both for the signal. We've also got our capacitors put on. I'm going to take a quick second, and I think you should do the same, and that's to go ahead and just make sure you got your ground on the right side of each cap. Okay, yep, so we soldered those correctly. I got red, 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 black, 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 black. Okay, everything looks good. It's just good to run through and know everything's right where you want it to be. So the next thing we're going to do is we can go ahead and set all these aside. So I'm going to grab these. I'm going to set them aside, and my very next step that I'm going to do in this build is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut some double-sided sticky tape, and I'm going to get it set right here. So I'm going to cut me 4 squares. Alright, here's the first one. Oh, we don't want it to be bigger than the arm, because then it'll look a little silly. So what I'll do is I'll actually trim this one, and lesson learned. Alright, now I'm going to use an ESC to get my placement. We're looking at somewhere around right here, so that's going to be right there. Boom. Alright, so that's one. Now let's go ahead and keep on moving. Two. Alright. Let's keep on rolling. Now, as you guys know, we temporarily put on our XT60, and then we saw it, we thought, well, hey, maybe we like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, ooh, that's way off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see how it turns out when we get, when we get to the end. If I like where this is at, as far as strapping on my battery and everything, then I'm going to keep it. I'm going to leave it right there. Why do the work again if I don't have to, If you want to, go ahead. But, you might have slapped it on real quick. I'll put a link in the video description of the Wolf PDB. We did a video on this. So in order to get this up and running, just to program our OSD, which we still might change later, but we went ahead and got it up and running, just make sure everything's working before we go putting solder all over it. We slapped this on, so if we don't like how that is, we might change it, but for now it's looking like it might be pretty good. Alright, so next step is let's get our quadcopter turned. Let's go for one of the arms. Pick any arm you want, it doesn't matter, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and strip these wires. So let's go ahead and strip all 3 of these. You could have done them beforehand if you wanted to. That's up to you. Doesn't matter what you do. You can do it now, or you could do it then. Whatever makes you happy. Alright, I want a little bit more on this one. There we go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get that tinned up. So let's lay that ESC down. We'll grab our solder. Let's go ahead and zoom in some so you guys can see this get tinned. Alright. Grab our iron. Now let's go ahead and tin these 3 wires. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, next, let's go ahead and tin these pads. I like a healthy bubble on mine. Feel free to do yours how you wish to do yours. Alright. Now, we're going to go ahead and place our ESC. And then going in the correct order, you're going to solder your signal to the first one. Then you're going to solder your telemetry to that middle one. And then all the way on the right, you're going to solder your ground. So, let's go ahead and roll. We're going to get in here. And we're going to solder the first one. Not getting a good angle. Alright, that's one. I'm thinking going for 2 next is going to be easier. If this one will stay out of my way. There we go. That's 2, and then we're going to go for 3. Make sure it looks good. Alright. Now, soldering iron was getting a little dirty. Alright, let's take a look. How are we looking? Yeah, that looks clean. That looks good. Now, the very next step is we are going to see, because that's locked now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll put our positive there. We'll put our ground there. And I mean, then we're rocking and rolling. So, let's go ahead and trim our ground. Okay, let's trim our positive. Okay, and then we will go ahead and prep the wire. Alright, next up we will go ahead and tin it. Okay. Now it's tinned. We're going to get some fresh solder on here. And let's go for the kill. Alright. That's clearly a bad angle for me. So let's turn this around. And let's go for it. Alright. Now we'll put on our positive. Bend down our cap. And let's see how we're looking. Alright. That is looking good. See, that's looking really good. Because now the next thing to do is to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and solder up our motor wires. Boom, 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 boom. First things first, we're going to put a little bit of heat shrink to keep our ESCs safe. So, get some heat shrink. Measure your length a little bit. I'm thinking something like that should be good. We'll trim her out. Okay. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright, me personally, I like to stretch mine out a little bit because I like the best possible squeeze I can get. So now we will lift this up. We're going to slide this over just like that. There we go. Come on, keep on going. Keep on. There you go. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we will peel our tape, and then we're going to solder on our... We're going to peel our tape because we got tape under. We're going to peel that off. We're going to solder these on. We're going to slide that down and squish, and we should be good. So let's go ahead and solder. Let's go ahead and solder this up and go for it. So first thing we'll do is tin our pads. Alright, now we need to cut our motor wires. Okay. Now I'm not sure if you can see that, but now it's time to tin. Alright, here we go. Let's dive right in. One. And two. And three. Alright, now we are going to go ahead, pop this up like we talked about, and we want to slide this down. Your sticky tape might want to be aggressive. That's alright, you just gotta fight back. Alright, come on now. There she is. Now let's slide down. Make sure, ooh, I went way too far. Let's make sure. So our goal is, ooh, look at that. Huh, what are you doing? Get you out of here. So our goal here is to make sure that these leads are covered, these solder leads right here, but we want to grab as much of our cap as possible so it's tucked in nicely. So I'm going to probably run to about right here somewhere. So that way, and then we'll push this down, and I'm going to call that good. So what'll happen is once I've wrapped that up, and there's 4 of these on here, you'll see what that looks like. And I mean, it's perfect. And then there's a couple more steps after that. I mean, the only thing left to do is plug it in, make sure everything works on it, make sure we got our blue telemetry light, that everything's working the way it's supposed to. Once we have that, we are going to go ahead and heat shrink at that point. I'm not going to heat shrink right now because, yay, I got one done. No. We are going to wait until we have powered up and we know that there's nothing touching, there's no continuity problems, no short problems, no problems. Then we will go ahead and we will heat shrink this. But for now, just leave it just like that. And we're going to go to the next one and the next one and the next one. This video will be 1,000,000 miles long and 1,000,000 years forever if I show you each and every one. So you saw how it's done. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to hit these other 3 while you guys hit those other 3. And then we're going to meet back here for the next step. Alrighty pilots, we got all 4 on and they're looking good. The plan now is you're going to go ahead and go to part 2 of this series. And then you'll be able to follow along as we complete this awesome KISS reverb build. I'm excited to finish this up with you guys. I'll see you in the next video.